Hello. In this video, we're going to go through the handouts that I gave you. Everything that you saw in the PowerPoint slides will be in these handouts. However, there are some writing exercise, there are some listening exercise that I would like you to do in your own time. So I'm going to use this video to explain what you need to do, what exercise that you need to do in the handouts, okay? There are 17 pages in these handouts, and these handouts will be used for the first week of our lessons. So, on the first page, it will be about the definitions of the presentations and types of presentation. You have studied this in the first video, okay? On the second page will give some suggestions and advice about how to prepare for a presentations. And below, there is a first exercise. So you are going to give a presentation. What you need to do is write down what equipment up here that you need for each of the situation. For examples, number one, I need to make sure that everyone can hear me. If you want everyone in the audience to hear you, what equipment that you need from this page, okay? So this is your first exercise, quite easy. Next one is do and don't in term. This is a tip for stand-up presentations, and we studied this on our first video. Um, below, below here are the reason for the advice above. So what I would like you to do is to match its reason to a piece of advice. This is advice, and this is the reason why you should follow the advice above. So you should match the advice with the reason. Okay. Next, this page contains information about introduction parts of the presentation, so you can read more about how to welcome the audience, how to introduce yourself. This will be examples, some useful phrase, some common expression that you can use. And below here is your first listening exercise. So listening to the two speakers begin their talk and write down the expressions they use to welcome the audience. So there are five listening audios in the handouts, and I'm going to share it with you as well. So this is audio one. What you need to do is to listen and write down the expressions that the speaker used to welcome the audience. And then you can listen again and now listen to the expression that they use to introduce the topic. Okay, so the same listening audio, listen for the expression to welcome the audience, and then listen for the expression that they use to introduce the topic. Okay. Next, okay, so match these less formal phrases with the more formal phrases in the table. So these 8 sentences can be found in the introduction part of the presentation. Then they are quite formal. So I'd like you to match the less formal phrases, expression from this dialogue down here. So you can match, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, this is a formal one. What are the less formal ones that you can use to welcome the audience? Next, you're going to give a situation. There are 5 situations for you. Imagine you are in this situation, and how are you going to talk, or how are you going to speak in each situation? For example, you are a sales manager from the Frankfurt office in Germany. Not everyone's here. I know you. So how do you introduce yourself at the beginning of the presentation? So you can use the words in the bracket to help with your writing. Okay. So there are 5 situations. Next, you can read more about how to structure a presentation. Okay. And after this, there are another 2 listening exercise for you. So I want you to listen to speaker A from audio 2 and write down what speaker A says when he or she structured the presentation. And then you can listen to audio 3. In the audio 3, you will listen and number each section of the speaker talk in order. So you have to listen and say whether how to order come first or how to contact come first. Okay, so you have to listen and order the numbers of the speaker talk in order. Next, you can read more about speech organization. Here, you can read more about a common expression that you can use for timing, for handouts, or the questions. Okay. Next, you can read the dialogues here. There are 4 dialogues here in the boxes, A, B, C, and then identify the purpose of the speaker. Okay. Next, what I would like you to do is to match the cues, the language card with the cues. So these are the cues. When you're going to give introductions for your presentation, here is what you do in order from the beginning. You welcome the audience, you introduce yourself, you give job title, and so on. So these are the sentences that you can use for each situation. So match the sentences with the cue here, okay? Next, we're going to go to the presentation, the main part. Okay, so you have studied this do and don't in terms of timings and voice. So I would like you to, these people, they have a problem. They have a problem because they do not follow the timings and voice as well. So I would like you to map why each person has a problem. Why? Because they don't follow which part of this. Okay. And then signposting. So you can read more about signposting for introducing the subject. You can look at some more examples and come on some useful phrases that you can use. Okay. And then there will be more listening exercise for you. So I want you to listen to the talk and fill in the missing words. There are 9 missing words. Listen to the talk and fill in the missing word. Okay, next is another listening exercise. This is about signposting. So there are 5 sentences and the signposting sentences are missing from here. So I want you to listen and then fill in the signposting sentences that are missing. Next, we have done this in the videos. So you are a marketing manager at Samsung. You're going to write down a mini script for your presentation. So I have prepared all the content for you. All you have to do is write the introduction part and then signposting sentences to link each part of the presentation together. Next, okay. Here, there are 4 categories for you. Summarizing the main points, recommending or suggesting something, signaling the end of the presentations, and inviting questions. So what you need to do is to look at these 14 sentences and match each sentences with the correct category. If you think that number 14, what I would like to suggest is recommending and suggesting something, you can write number 14 down here below B. Next one is closings and questions. So you can read more about the examples of what sentence you can use to end the presentations and what sentence you can use to invite a question from the audience. And also, you can read more about how to deal with questions, okay? And then you can come and answer the question here. And the last page, the last page is actually is a whole presentations, but they are not in the order. So from what you have studied, can you rearrange the presentation into the correct order? So that's it. That's 17 pages in this handout. So far to sum up, for our first weeks of the lessons, I have given you 5 videos, including this one. So please study in your own time, and then we'll see you again in the next video. Thank you.